and welcome to another edition of News 6. Today, News 6 is brought to you by Memorial Park Middle School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Later on in our program, we'll visit a very special art gallery, travel back in history to the year 1816, and interview an Army cook at the old fort, and meet Jerome the seal at the Children's Zoo. But now Sarah is going to tell us about a new place that will be opening soon in Fort Wayne. Sarah?
The Fort Wayne Botanical Gardens will open to the public on November 20th. News 6 took a preview tour of the gardens, which have cost approximately $5.2 million. Eventually, several thousand plants will be on display in the natural habitat. The plants will be kept in 3 houses. The showcase house, one of the 3 will display different plants at different times. The plants in this house will be changed for each holiday season. The second and largest of the 3 houses, the Tropical Rainforest House, contains a circulation rainfall that you can walk under. The plants in this house are permanent and characteristic of plants that grow in the tropics. The third and smallest house is called the Arid House and will contain desert plants. The heating in the Showcase House and in the Tropical Rainforest House will be the same. The plants in these houses will be heated by rock beds under the soil. Heat is stored in the rocks, and when it is needed, fans will push the warm air up through ducts. All 3 houses are insulated by double glass panes that cost $550 each. The glass that faces the outside is 1/4 of an inch thick. Between this glass, there is an inside sheet of glass that is 7/16 of an inch thick. It is a 1/2 inch of airspace for insulation. Motorized curtains under the glass panes close automatically to keep the heat out and also provide protection from the cold at night. The plants receive their water from a 10,000-gallon tank. This tank is painted black to absorb heat. The tank also contains fertilizer for the plants.
Thanks, Sarah. And now Calandra will tell us about an unusual News 6 interview. Calandra?
Prepackaged food, instant puddings, frozen dinners, and microwave ovens make cooking easy today. But what is it like to bake in the year 1816? News 6 traveled back in time to interview Louis Boree, an Army cook at Fort Wayne, to find out.
I have the contract to bake for the military, and I'm responsible for the bread that the enlisted men are rationed each day. They get 16 ounces of flour, and that's what I bake for them. Of course, now if I have other ingredients, sugar, goose grease, I can make a much better baked product. So I'll bake for the officers also, but they eat a little better.
Do you use recipes?
I don't use any recipes because of the fact that I don't know what I'm going to be given to be used into my baking. So it's just a matter of whatever might appear in my cabin for me to use, and that's what I'll use. And as a result, I cannot always depend on a recipe. Therefore, I don't use recipes.
What kind of oven do you use?
Well, in the cabin, I have a heating stove, but I only use that in the cool weather to help my bread rise, but my bread is actually baked outdoors in the brick oven.
How do you know when something is done baking?
Check it by color, if it's dark brown, or better yet would be to thump the top crust, and if it sounds a bit hollow, then you know it's done. Then I'm ready to start taking out the loaves.
Thank you, Mr. Boree. This is Mark Sampson reporting for News 6.
Thanks, Mark. Next, Laura will tell us about a very special art gallery, our own. Laura?
Memorial Park Middle School is a magnet school which draws students from all parts of Fort Wayne who are interested in foreign language and fine arts. We are proud to display unusual objects and our work in our art gallery. One of the unusual items on display now is a clay pot, a gift from the night
Now here's Emilio with our last story about Jerome and his friends. Emilio?
The Fort Wayne Children's Zoo closed on October 16th. The director of the zoo, Mr. Earl Wells, spoke with News 6 about the number of animals in the zoo and what happens to them when the zoo closes. He also explained what makes the Children's Zoo different and that it doesn't stay closed all winter.
July 3rd, 1965, so it's been, what, about 18 years that it's been open. And we've enjoyed a lot of success and a lot of fun here in those 18 years. You know, since we keep all our animals here all the time, year-round, we try very hard to have them have babies here in the zoo. So most of the animals you see as you travel through the zoo have been born here. Now, there are a few exceptions, and the jaguars behind us here are one of the exceptions. Well, in animal numbers, you know, it changes, and it depends on what you count. You know, if we counted all the ducks and the geese that fly in and out, it'd be one number. But basically, on our inventory, we keep an inventory record of all the animals in the zoo. We have about 500 to 550 most of the time. Now, the thing that makes us perhaps a little different than most of the zoos in the neighborhood is we have things for people to do here, participation things. You can ride a pony, or you can ride the train. You can go on a miniature safari across the street in the African belt. And we're aware that young people in particular really want to learn about animals, but don't have an opportunity in the city life to be near many animals except dogs and cats. So at the zoo you have a chance to have some fun with animals and, more importantly, learn something about them. We have signs in all the cages. We opened the last week in April and closed the middle of October. But after we close, we then prepare for the great zoo Halloween party. And we have a big party that lasts for 11 days here. And the youngsters come to the zoo in costume, and we have a trick-or-treat alternative where you can go through the zoo and get various treats. So we have a lot of fun here during that 11 days before Halloween. Then we're closed during November and open again in the 9th of December for Christmas time at the zoo.
Thanks, Emilio. That's all for today. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Join us next week when News 6 will be brought to you by Hilltop Elementary School in West Unity, Ohio. We will interview a puppeteer who bought her first puppet from Sherry Lewis. Meet Kaiser, a dog who tracks down criminals for a living. And we also visit a dairy farm and a meat packing plant. Until then, have a good week.